Maya, so it's going to be interesting over the next couple of hours to see, what happens next. Will we see Mr. Kumaraswamy resigning? Will he face that trust vote in the House? This has been a setback to the Congress-JDS, though some doubt or some confusion still remains about, the whole issue of disqualification and whether that is a threat for those MLAs or not. But some saying that that's no longer an issue at all.
Indeed, what the Supreme Court did in fact seem to say was that the MLAs cannot be compelled to come to the House. And that is what a whip would do. A whip would actually compel MLAs to come to the House. The whip issued last week to the Congress and JDS MLAs said you have to be present in the Assembly to attend the legislature session. They defied that whip. They defied that whip on Friday. They were not there in the House. They've not been in the House since then, of course, because they're in a hotel in Mumbai. Now, the notice, the whip issued to those MLAs said, if you don't come, you may face disqualification. You'll face action and you may face disqualification. But the Supreme Court, by saying that they cannot be compelled to come, basically nullifies that whip, really. If they cannot be forced to come, then there is no whip in effect that insists that those MLAs be present in the Assembly. So using their absence as a basis for disqualification, that does not seem likely. So, that is not really very good news for the JDS and the coalition. They were hoping that by holding that threat of disqualification over them as a sort of stick, and by offering them the carrot of cabinet berths, there may be a possibility of those MLAs rethinking their quitting and maybe staying on with the coalition government, maybe coming back to vote in the Assembly during that trust vote when it happens. That is looking less and less likely right now. If the MLAs can take their own decision about whether they want to come to the Assembly and vote or not, then it's very unlikely that any of them will do so. They've gone to the Supreme Court to see that their resignations are accepted. So the coalition, JDS, as of now, just simply does not have the numbers. They are much less than the BJP plus those two independents. At 100 for the coalition, 105 plus 2 for the BJP, it really looks as if it is over for the coalition government. They sounded confident until very, very recently, saying that they would somehow manage, but now it's really not clear. And whether H.D. Kumaraswamy will in fact face that vote, the debate is set to begin tomorrow morning at 11. Will he actually face that debate, face that vote, or will he, like B.S. Yediyurappa, when this election, the state election was just over last May, will Yediyurappa made that speech and then he left the Assembly without facing that trust vote? Will Kumaraswamy use the opportunity tomorrow to speak from his heart, to say what he feels about the situation and then step down? Or will he in fact step down ahead of that, go to the Raj Bhavan? Or will they fight it out? Will they still be hoping for some last-minute miracle to actually keep the coalition government in power? It's really all open, several options at this stage. But the BJP certainly saying, as they have been saying for days, that H.D. Kumaraswamy should step down.